Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Geek Talk. I'm going to allow this stream to push through just a few more moments while we gather a few more participants to our live stream today. So, I want to thank you in advance for just tuning in for a few moments of your time. And while I do, I am going to push this content on through live. Thank you so much. Tell me where you're tuning in from and what do you think about National Mentoring Month? Let's make sure that we all put our comments and feedback in the chat and let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to see your comments. Thank you so much for being here today. All right. Hello, Miss Flo Jenkins. Thank you so much for being here. So, we are going to push this content on through live here today, and away we go. So, welcome to another webisode of The Geek Talk. GEEK is an acronym for Giving Entrepreneurs Expert Knowledge. And my name is Sabrina Lowery, and I am thrilled to be here with you all today. We are live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and we are also here on the StreamYard platform. And if you have never heard of StreamYard in the virtual world, it is very, very nice. One of those live streaming platforms that allows me to cross promote all of my channels on social media. So, welcome to my LinkedIn guests, welcome to my Facebook guests, and welcome to my Instagram connections here tonight. My name is Sabrina Lowery, and they call me the tech evangelist. And I have been in the space of tech for over 40 years now. Just celebrated a birthday a month ago, and I am in my fifth decade of life. And so at the big 50, that entered a new chapter for me. It's chapter 5.0. And what I am now learning at this phase of my life and in my entrepreneurial journey is there is this thing called mentorship. Somebody put mentorship in the chat. So if you know a little something about mentorship, hey Judge Parker, thank you so much for tuning in. I want to make sure that you have a mentor, have been mentored, are currently a mentee, or seeking the opportunity for one or both of those opportunities. So I want to just share with you a few notes that I took down about what mentoring means to me. And mentoring is a very, very intentional program where you and someone in your career path basically have already experienced that career that you aspire to be in. And when you are connected as a mentee to your mentor, there is going to be guidance along the way. There may be some skill sets that you will pick up along the way. There may even be some opportunities for what we call shadowing in the real world, where you take that mentee as the mentor and you show them a little behind the scenes of what it really looks like to run the operations. So if you have a mentor in your life, go ahead and drop mentor in the chat for me. Let me know your feeling about this being National Mentoring Month. The month of January is looked upon as the flagship, if you will, for the mentoring arena. There are not a lot of people that I have found along my journey in entrepreneurship that choose to be mentors. Well, I choose to be a mentor. One of the programs that I have been a part of this past year, 2022, is NAR Aspire. NAR Aspire by the National Association of Realtors. I've got all my Spire swag around here, y'all, just making sure that I'm all swagged out with my goodies from the program. And those are just a few of the benefits that I received as a selected mentor for that program. And so, yes, there is an intake process, a little bit of an application, if you will. They want to know what your goal is as a mentor in order to give back to the community. What is it that you desire to help the younger generation with, or your collaborators with, your parallel team members with? I have found that mentorship has been the most important aspect of my entrepreneurial journey. And let me share why. One, as a mentor, I am looking at the next generation me, if you will. There are people that aspire to be business owners and ask me almost every month, how do you do it? How do you juggle so many things and so many businesses? And so, just my little stories along the way of how I've overcome some obstacles, how I've handled objections, how I've burst the glass ceiling through corporate America, and how I still get a seat at the table in these executive boardrooms. It's not for the faint of heart. And so, if you are new into an industry, or if you are new in an environment, your workspace, sometimes it's very difficult to find your way. And there is this sense of loneliness or shyness because, truth be told, you might be a little embarrassed that you really don't know or have the skills to perform at your best and optimal self. Yes, thank you so much for asking. This is about mentoring and the pros and cons of mentorship. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I want to make sure also that everyone knows very clearly the difference between a mentor, a coach in business, and consultancy. So let's start with being a coach. So we might think of sports, we think of business, you think of your team leader. That's your cheerleader, the person behind the scenes running the ship, if you will, keeping the team members organized and keeping the business moving forward. That would be definitely a leadership quality. And that person might be looked upon as some of their team members like, hey, they really got it going on. I wonder how they this, or I wonder if they that. And so when it comes to having some open dialogue and conversation in a no judgment zone, sometimes you do want those confidential sessions as a coach. That absolutely gives them the guidance that they need, sometimes the little bit of encouragement they need, and sometimes a little smack on the rear end, if you know what I'm saying. So, if you agree with some of those characteristics of a coach, a business coach, drop business coach in the comments for me. So I want to segue. Let's segue and talk about the mentors. So if you are a mentor and there is a program that you like as a mentor, please share with our audience this evening in the comments. What programs are you mentoring for and with? I am a mentor again for NAR Spire. I am a mentor for the Kennesaw State University Entrepreneurial Center. They have what's called the EC Angels. And so, for a number of years, I have guided college students in their entrepreneurial journey, whether they knew what their business or product or service was, or if they were unsure altogether and ultimately may have decided to get into corporate America. So, as a mentor, I would bring them around to different activities in the community. I'm an active member of the Cobb Chamber. And so, having access to some of those breakfasts, some of those opportunities to network and meet and greet with people in the room, sometimes you've got to watch someone do it and perform before you actually can do it and perform. So, let me move on into the consultant space because I too consult. And so the difference there is I'm not being your mentor. I am not just coaching you along the way. As a consultant, I am providing my expertise in exchange for a fee or otherwise something of value. So, how that works in the consultancy world for me is there is a written formal agreement with terms and conditions of the scope of work to be performed. And therefore, at the end of that scope of work, whether there is a retainer paid in the beginning or not, the compensation schedule is spelled out in that agreement. So that relationship is completely different in this world of mentoring. And I don't want you to get confused between these three. So, if I have clarified for you what a consultant is, and if you are running a consultancy business, drop consultant in the comments for me. And I would love to connect with you after this live. Now, let me talk about some of the programs that I am aware of that I would love to share with you today. I am very familiar with the platform called Mentor Circles. And if you ever heard Mentor Circles, I will use them out because this organization just opened up another cohort of applicants and mentoring circles are available. I want you all to be sure that you just Google that information. You can also check out NASDAQ, as in NASDAQ, Entrepreneurial Center. And with the NASDAQ, I'm pulling that one up for you. The NASDAQ Center for Entrepreneurship, that one also has mentors available. And I have been on both the mentee side to receive a little bit of coaching along my journey, and as a mentor to provide very specific tools, resources, and information to aspire business owners. So I want to make sure that you all had just a couple of opportunities you could research yourself, that you can sign up. The center.nasdaq.org/resources is one of the recommended platforms. I'm going to drop that in the chat for everyone. And I want you all to just think about this whole concept of mentoring. It's National Mentoring Month. What might you be able to do to help mentor that next younger generation? It could be you're a parent and you're part of the PTA and you want to help the community and serve as a mentor to some of those students by reading in the classroom. Does that make sense? And I love that. Thank you so much for putting your comments in the chat. Miss Jenkins, you've had several mentors in your life, and I can agree with that wholeheartedly. The reason I say wholeheartedly is because in every phase, in every stage, there's a reason and there's a season. When I started real estate, that mentor did not look the same as when I started Mary Kay back in the day, over 25 years ago. The sales training is different. The technology tools are different. The communication skills are different. The leadership skills are different. And especially in technology, now that I am a mentor with the WIT Network here in Atlanta as one of the community co leaders, I am mentoring in that capacity to women in technology that aspire to have thriving careers in tech. So I want y'all to just, I'm going to put that link there on the chat for you. Please be sure to check out the Center for Entrepreneur Resources. That is NASDAQ's Entrepreneurial Center, and they do have the opportunity for mentors there. There are several other programs that I want you to be in the lookout for. Watch these open cohorts and applications when they come available. And if you'd like to be a mentee of mine, and apply for an opportunity to get next to a woman in business, a minority owned business, a realtor, a technologist. That is something that I can help you with. And I am taking new mentees for 2023. Now, this is a very limited opportunity because those that show up and are committed will go up and rise to achieve all of their goals. So, with that said, if you're interested in mentorship with yours truly, I would love for you to drop an email to Sabrina at Legacy Realty and Management.com. And if you are looking for a scheduled call, I would love for you to go on my website and you can book that call today. And that is Sabrina Lowery Enterprises.com. And that website has been posted. You can book your call for mentoring. And I would love to connect with you and learn more about you and how you can achieve your goals in a mentoring capacity. So, I would also like to just speak very briefly about the different types of mentors. So, first and foremost is your traditional mentor. That's that one on one person. I could even think back to high school. And in high school, when I started coding in computers, I had a mentor that worked in North Miami City Hall, which is where I had my first job coding. And I was about 15 or 16 years old in high school. And I just couldn't believe that a minority woman of color was sitting in the city hall where it was predominantly men that did not look like us. And here we were, the girls in charge. So I, in that moment, leaned into everything that she wanted to share, everything that she wanted to give me, because she'd give me the real and the raw. And sometimes that's exactly what you need. So I want to encourage you to be sure that you are looking for that person that you not just know, like, and trust, but that bond, it may be a forever relationship, not just seasonal. That's my first traditional mentorship program. Now let's talk about the distant mentorship. Basically, some virtual mentoring. Now, as a part of the NAR Spire program that I mentioned to you earlier, that I just completed, this program through NAR, our National Association of Realtors, paired me with local and national realtors. Phenomenal opportunity. I highly encourage you all to go to mentorship.realtor and keep an eye out for that opportunity to open up in the summer because there is only a limited capacity with the number of mentors that are selected each year. But once I got my mentee in New York, we met virtually in a committed formal agreement, 1 hour a week for 12 weeks. We had a signed one-page agreement that spoke to what this mentoring relationship looked like, what the expectations and the goals were, and how we could terminate it either way. So I thought that was very good because sometimes when you don't have skin in the game and you're not committed to something, you take for granted what that opportunity truly is. But this mentee, she got it right, ladies and gentlemen. And so I just want to give a shout out to my mentee, Judy Black in Queens, New York, who is a phenomenal up and coming realtor. Now, in our 12 weeks together, I allowed her as the mentee to design what each weekly meeting would be about because she wanted to achieve a number of goals in that short term. We had to keep her on track with accountability. And then I also had to provide her resources and tools that, as a newer agent, she was not aware of. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy to report that in those 12 weeks, she earned 3 certifications and designations because of my recommendations. She also has completed several of the NAR designations. She is growing her business. And, ladies and gentlemen, we just got to meet in person a week and a half ago. Talk about a reunion. It was such a tremendous blessing. And I just want to thank again our NAR Spire mentorship program for the amazing opportunity. So, shout out to NAR, all the realtors in the house, hashtag realtor in the comments. That always just warms my heart. And so, I want to close with the third type of mentorship. Pardon me while I quench my thirst. And that is going to be group mentoring. How many of you have experienced group mentorship programs? Put group mentoring in the comments if you have been in a mentoring role or a mentee role, but in a group setting. So, in this group mentoring, there is a dedicated amount of time, a set number of times that you meet, and more than likely, there is a common goal for the group. So I'll give you an example. Pardon me. Through the months of October, November, and December, I took a 3-month GoDaddy website development certification training program. Now, this was group mentoring because all of the entrepreneurs in this cohort, we applied for this mentorship. Most of us were already on GoDaddy's platform at some capacity, whether they had live websites or they simply were holding their domains for the day that they would launch. Well, in those collaborative group mentoring meetings, do you know how awesome it is to be able to collaborate with the people in the room? And half the time, we got more out of it because of the stories, sometimes the problems, the failures, the successes that our own classmates experience along the way. So I took a lot away from that experience as well for group mentoring. And I encourage you to try that as well. If the one on one is not a good fit, you feel like I'm just not matched up with this particular mentor, try something in a group setting and see if that changes your desire to have mentoring opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, I just thank you so much for this time together. I hope that we have shared just a few nuggets about mentoring and the importance of it, the cons of it. Let me give you the con. I'll just share one brief story. Well, there are times when, as a mentor, there have been people that wanted my mentorship. For whatever reason or another, they simply could not fulfill their commitment to remain in the mentoring program. I just sometimes wonder why that is and why people just the communication it dies, and a lot of times that breakdown people take it personally, and I don't want anyone to feel that way in a mentorship relationship. To me, that is one of the biggest keys is communication. I believe that is what will make mentorship, your mentoring opportunity successful. You communicate, you ask those burning questions, you respect someone's time, you show up with integrity, you do what you say you're going to do. And just watch that relationship thrive, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to just say again, it's National Mentoring Month. And so for the remaining of the month, I will continue to open this opportunity. If anyone catches the replay of this live stream and you want to take an interest in applying to be a mentor with me, or if you just want a list of some of those resources that I mentioned earlier for some mentorship programs, group or traditional, we might be able to help you out. So thank you again. You all have a great rest of your evening. Please be sure to tune in again next Tuesday. We will not be, excuse me, next Monday, we will not be live streaming. I will be taking a women's self defense class for 4 days. And so that is happening right around that same time that we would go live. But you all just stay tuned because I will bring back some amazing content for the month of February, kicking off Black History Month. For those that have not followed my website, please be sure to go to Sabrina Lowery Enterprises. Soon as the website launches, you can book that free consultation and just have a conversation about mentorship. What does it mean to be a mentee? How can I mentor you? Is there anything I got that you won't? I might be able to help you. So, ladies and gentlemen, please have a great rest of your evening. If you like what you heard this evening, it would mean so much to me if you just gave me a like, a heart, and shared this content. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Sabrina Lowery, and they call me the Tech Evangelist. It is my pleasure to be here with you all today. I hope that we can do this again real soon. And tune in to the next webisode of the Geek Talk Show. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.